And now I want to do any testing type stuff for this. Sitsu, hello. So I reopened these back up just sort of familiarize what I actually did with it, because I kind of almost started with a test-driven development system and then just sort of abandoned that as I was just adding new features and playing around and experimenting. But looking at this, okay, so we have we clear our cookies, visit the home page, I get the sign up button, I click it, I check our URL to make sure it's not localhost anymore, which this is not going to be good because, well, I guess technically this works. If I ever want to run this in production, these tests, then this won't work, obviously. So I don't know if this is exactly helpful to like check the URL here. I think really it's more of if I click on that link and then I immediately visit / again, I then want to get the auth0 state cookie, and stating that it should have property. Oh, right. This was checking to see the property stuff. See like what I have in here. I don't really care about most of these things. I care about the value. So, okay, get cookie has property domain and property expiry. I guess the state one I want to be expiry like a tiny little bit of time. I don't know if this works. Let's take a look at what we've got. So it's not you, it is you. So well, here's our big problem. I visit / I get this. I click the link to go to our login page, and immediate error because Cypress detects a cross-origin error happening. It's going to somewhere else. We're not allowed to do this. I could disable this. Like I could disable the warning and it would be kind of happy again. But I think I read some articles. Don't even like bother testing any of that stuff. If it's working, I don't know how to like do automated tests of like, okay, the cookie is created on the sign up button click, which would be really nice, but I don't know how to do that. So we're going to skip those tests and go straight to a different type, which is we're going to have to make a site.request, which means we need to have secrets for Cypress. Yeah, so we can do site.request. Don't hard code this. Cypress.env. Okay, we can create a cypress.env.json and then hide this from Git. Okay, so I think it's going to go just right here. So I'm going to touch you, and we're going to come back out to here. Okay, so that's hidden here. I think that should disappear, but I'm going to do my best not to open it in this browser, and we're going to use a terminal on my other screen to deal with this. Okay, so got that open over there. I can. How does this work? You can create your own cypress.env.json file that Cypress will automatically check. Values in here will overwrite conflicting environment variables in your Cypress configuration. This strategy is useful because if you add Cypress to your git ignore, values in here can be different for each developer machine. Nice. And so it looks kind of like this. Okay, so it's just a... Okay, and then we just use it like that. Well, that's easy enough. Okay. So then I want... what do I need? The next part about this is Auth0. So I need to be able to log in and get a token from Auth0. And that's not necessarily as easy. I don't think it's the Authentication API. I think this is actually the Management API Explorer. These are all like controlling Auth0 from using an API, which is nice. But that's not necessarily what I'm going for here. Okay, maybe not that. Maybe it is the Authentication API. Okay, so I've been doing this one, but that's a GET, so it sends us over to that web page. Oh, this might be it. Get token. Use this endpoint to get an access token in order to call an API. Optionally, you can also retrieve an ID token and a refresh token. That's what I want to do. Refresh your access token. I don't really want to do that. I think it's the device authorization flow. This is the Auth0 grant that input constrained devices use to access an API. Hold this endpoint using the interval returned with your device code. Oh wait, maybe not. Never mind. Client credentials flow. This is the Auth0 grant that highly trusted apps use to access an API. In this flow, the end user is asked to fill in credentials, username, and password, typically using an interactive form in the user agent browser. This information is sent to the backend and from there to Auth0. It is therefore imperative that the application is absolutely trusted with this information. Yes, I know it recommends using Webflows instead, but I had found some articles like Auth0 and tests Cypress. Okay, they're just going through getting everything set up. Okay, so then they say, okay, the authentication. The naive approach would be to visit the web application and invoke a redirect to the Auth0 login page. That would be me going to like my web page, clicking the login button, having it redirect me to Auth0, enter in username and password, submit the form, be redirected back, and I'm good. So Cypress best practices, we use sci.request to make a request directly to Auth0, get the token, and go back. And so they're recommending here this. Create a command in Cypress. Where's the URL? Oh, you get it from cypress.env. So auth URL. Auth URL being, okay, so my tenant.auth0.com/oauth/token, which is this one. OAuth/token. And then you pass in all this information. So even though they're yelling at you and saying like, hey, this is trust only, their own documentation recommends this if you want to do end-to-end testing. So this is what we need to do. Yes, I know we're going to use Webflows for the normal one, but for this, we need that. Okay, so this is going to be our URL. So this is going to be a auth0 login URL. You are that. Okay. So we can come back here and I think it's under support. And we can do commands here. Okay, so we can do Cypress commands add. So Cypress commands.add. The command we want to add here is login. Anything we want to pass into it, which I don't necessarily have right now. And then the code of what's going to happen. So I wonder if I can do sci also. I don't know. Let's open this up in the correct browser. Okay, custom commands. We do Cypress commands add. We do the name. Okay, yeah. So at that point, we just have access to Sci and use it as normal. Okay, so we can do Sci dot request. Didn't really tell me much there. This other article recommends Sci.request. We get these options. Method will be post. Okay, so I need to go look at Cypress request. Okay, so Sci.request takes in an object with things like URL, follow redirect. That'll be a get, I think, by default if there's no options. Okay, here's what. Is this it? Method. Oh, here's the options. Okay. So we have log displays the commands of command log. Okay, URL. The URL to make the request to. So I forgot how to get the environment variables thing. Oh, I actually think they have an example right here. Okay, Cypress.env dot. This is going to be auth0 login URL. We're going to pass in the options. Okay. What of these are required? I suppose what we can do is look at this. So we obviously have our URL. I need to update that to be the correct one too. Okay, grab that out of Auth0's dashboard and put that in there. Okay, so it goes to my domain auth /auth/token. Looks like we're gonna have headers. Additional headers to send. So it looks like, is that going to be an array of objects or just a single object with key values? This is extracting out. That's after you send. Let's see if you have this in here. Homeless, hello. I'm doing good today. It's a Friday, which is always nice. How about you? How are you doing? Let's see. You don't have headers in here. So it might just work. Awesome, that's great to hear. Okay, well, fine. Let's see. So I'll just assume that you figure it out. Okay, and these are all going to be query parameters. It looks like it's a post, but it's not going into... So it's a post, which means it's a method. You want to use tsdoc for documenting TypeScript code, but someone told you not to do that because Agile is saying minimal documentation. Do only the necessary amount of documentation, which is just a means to an end. The source code is a big part of the actual documentation. So it really depends. Like, it goes back and forth. Are you writing documentation before you start writing the code? Who is the documentation for? How is it going to be used? What value will be getting from it right away? I also think that it's really fascinating what people read from the Agile Manifesto, because it doesn't say minimal documentation. Oh, dark mode on this site is not happy. Let's turn that off. Yeah, dark mode just makes the text not work very well. So I think what here is that it's not that you want to minimize documentation, is that working software is valued more than, and then it's also comprehensive documentation. And comprehensive documentation, I don't know if you've ever experienced this. Maybe someone else in chat has. But we used to call it the binder. And so this was at the beginning of a project. You collect all the requirements, you collect all the risks of the project, you document all of the technologies that you're going to use, and it goes into this gigantic multi-inch thick binder that then sits in somebody's drawer and is usually used by management to really try to force people to, like, force the client to accept whatever they built. And it's like, it's a defensive measure. It's not really there to help provide better code. It's there to, like, prevent you from being sued because you didn't provide what they really needed. You provided what they asked for. That being said, it's a big thing here. There are value, like there is value on the items on the right. Absolutely, there is value on documentation. It just means that if you have a choice, if you have to make the choice between documentation and the software actually working, always go for the software actually working. Does that make sense? Something I think a lot of people sort of like get wrong, which is, hey, no documentation ever, and that's not true. Okay, so we have method post. So go to that. Okay, and then I have all of these as query parameters. Awesome, that's great. Now this is interesting. So we have, okay, so this is in the body here. If I were to send this, okay, so if I do shell, oh yeah, look at this, it's data. So this is, XURL form, okay. This is what you want me to do? That's fine. So we'll do headers. I'm guessing you're an array. The documentation didn't really show it very well. And then the value is going to be this. And then we have our data, which I suppose would be in the body. This would be an object. Okay, so now we have grant type is going to be password. So I wonder, I should be able to just take this. Okay, so audience is API identifier. We have grant type. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is grant type is client credentials. Client ID is my client ID. Client secret is your client secret. Okay. Audience. What are you setting that to be? So auth audience, and then in here, auth audience. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's essentially my domain /API/v2. Okay, it's easy enough. All right, so let's add this in here. So we'll do auth0 audience. Okay. Grant type is literally the string client credentials. Client ID is, okay, so I need my client ID in here. Oh, and then a client secret. This is the big one. Ooh, and I want this to be auth0 client ID. Okay, so auth0 client secrets. Which I can rotate, but that would obviously cause everything to... Well, actually, it wouldn't cause everything to break. It would just cause this to break. Because this is the only thing that's going to use the client secret so far. So... Okay, so that's going to make that request out. Okay, so we have... Oh, this isn't right. This isn't everything. Wait, didn't I see one that had the username password in here? Where are you? Authentication API. Get token. Yeah, this doesn't require... There's nothing here but a username and password. I must be missing that somewhere. Client credential throw. It is that post. Oh, this one doesn't have that big warning. Where was that warning one? Oh, this is it. Okay, here we go. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, so the same domain. Okay, it's the same URL. Application xww. Okay, so that's all the same. So then we have request parameters. So grant type we have in here. So we have grant type, client ID, client secret, audience, username, the resource owner's identifier. Asitsu, you're unfamiliar with Cypress. What's the idea behind adding these commands? I thought the aim was to test your app, not the auth API. Yes, actually, that's why I'm doing this as a command. So I can just basically say, hey, Cypress, give me a token from auth0. And then I can inject that into our app, and then just like continue on testing as if I'm logged in. Because like I don't know any other way to like test to make sure that like, oh, I can only get this stuff if I'm logged in, or I can get only the correct stuff if I'm logged in. Which I think that's the sort of issue. And I don't want to navigate to and sort of control auth0. That's not gonna be happy with me. Okay, so username is going to be next up in our environment variable. So auth0 username. I need a test user for this. So I'm going to go ahead and create a test user. Where is it? Users. User management. Users. We're going to create a new user. I don't necessarily have a good test user for this one. I need an email address for it. Maybe I'll use a mailinator for right now, and then I can switch over and use something. I probably just need to create a new email address for this somewhere. Because it actually does send out an email when I try to use this. So let's do. I don't want it to bounce, so I don't want to give it like a fake email. I'll use a mailinator address right now. Okay, Just create a new one. Stop trying to use somebody else's. Okay, fine. Connection, I only have one connection, so create you in there. Okay. Then back to you. Okay, username is gonna be that. Then we're gonna have an auth0 password, which is gonna be that. Okay, so scope. String value of the different scopes the application is asking for. Multiple scopes are separated with white space. Are you asking for scopes? Yeah, you are. Just these. So that's not. That's in here. OpenID, profile, and email. Okay. Oh, username, password. I forgot that. Username. NV. So auth0 username. Auth0 password. Okay. Realm. String value of the realm the user belongs to. Set this if you want to add realm support at this grant. Do you use that? You do not use that. Okay, so I'm gonna skip that too then. Request headers. Okay, I don't think I need to use those right now for this. All right, so if I do a site.request, I get, okay, so that gets sent out. I have site.request options. I probably want to turn off logging at this point, or I'm gonna want to hide this just to make sure it doesn't like expose anything in the logs in Cypress, or at least how I can like not expose them to all of you. All right, so the way this works is this is a cyp command, and so what I want to be able to do is come back to this auth0, and instead of doing like click and all this stuff, I want to clear the cookies. Yeah, I want to clear the cookies. I need to change the grant type to password. Ooh, good point. Change the grant type. Yep, use password. Good point. Thank you. Okay. Then, so we could do clear cookies and then log in. So tell it to log in. I don't think anything is going to happen here. Error reading from cypress.env.json. Okay, it's looking inside of... Okay, so it's looking in there. Is it because I didn't save it? It looks like it's valid JSON. Let's try this again. Cool, that would have exposed that. So it was below the fold, so I'm okay there. But that's fun. Okay, so it failed because grant type password not allowed for the client. So I need to go into Auth0 for my application. Go down to settings, and there's an advanced settings where I can then say under grant types, allow password. So if I save that, back to Cypress again, try that again. It failed on, we got a 500 response. Yeah, then it prints out what we sent, which of course exposes all that fun stuff. What did I miss? I saved all of those things. Let's go back to this this document and actually like read through it. Okay, so Cypress best practices, Cypress commands. Okay, so we put this in there. We have the environment variables, so we set that. Please do not forget to add this to getIgnore. All right, well, this is assuming a React app, but it doesn't really matter. While creating your Auth0 application, you enable the password grant, but what exactly is a grant anyways? Oh, this is probably like a multi-part step, and like a tutorial, and I'm like partway into it. Okay, so I should now be able to do site.login. Oh, then I get the response and do something with that, but I'm getting a 500 error. From Cloudflare. Okay, so let's try. Not setting the headers. Try that. Error description. Authorization server not configured with default connection. Oh, okay. Authorization server not configured with default connection. So I have connections here. Do I have to create like an API in here? so API. So I'm gonna create an API. So this is gonna be, I guess like Cypress testing API. I guess this would be machine to machine. I think it would be considered that. Oh, wait. I'm creating an application. That's wrong. I want to go to an API. Create that. Okay, so an API, this is going to be like Cypress integration testing. Identifier. A logical identifier for this API, we recommend using a URL, but note that this doesn't have to be a publicly available URL. Okay. So do I want to use the same one that I have for audience? Maybe. Probably not. Also I'm missing from my audience. I'm missing stuff. So maybe I don't need to do this. What was it? It was. Yeah, I missed the HTTPS. I just used my tenant, and I'm missing the API v2. But I'm guessing that like previously they created an API for this. But let's try. So if I do API v2 slash. Okay, so API v2. Signing algorithm would be fine. Oh, okay. That one is not available for me to create. It's already, so that's an automatic one. Okay, so let's try that again with Cypress. Authorization server not configured with default connection. Which is interesting because I believe that okay, so I found the identifier for that API. It already created, it's been created by Auth0 for me. Is there like a settings in here for a list of permissions? I don't see anything in the settings in here for the default connection. That might be under global settings for the entire project. Oh yeah, default directory doesn't exist. Name the connection to be used for password grant exchanges. The default directory value should be the exact name of an existing connection. I also wonder if I can like just tell it and overwrite. So can I say something like connection? Yes, I know you're going to be upset because I haven't added it in here yet. So auth0. Oh, yeah, auth0 connection. And do I need to set form true in the request options? Possibly. Maybe. Although right now it's yelling at me that I don't have, like, it doesn't know which database to use. Even though I only have one database in auth0, it doesn't know to go and use that, apparently. So let me grab my name of the connections in here. So this is under authentication. Okay, copy you. Put you in there. Refresh. Yeah, authorization server not configured with default connection. So there was that. I wonder if okay, so that doesn't work by setting a connection here. I wonder if I can set that under the URL. So if I do, well, actually that would just be taking you out. Because the other APIs allowed me to set the connection of what to use. So if I do question mark connection equals paste you in. Yeah, it's not happy with that. Okay, so authorization server not configured with default connection. So I need to add a default connection in for this API, which I don't know how to do inside of here. Yeah, I don't see anything for this. So I have to go to extensions. No, not extensions, settings. Go to the default directory. Save that. Try again. Okay, and that worked. That connection didn't. Okay, so that worked. I got this sent out the request. Here. I do not. Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to do here. First of all, I vaguely remember that there was a way to tell it to log no, like no logging. I want to do that. Which was somewhere in here. Log. Log default is true, so I want log to be false. Goes okay. Oh yeah, look at that. It's no longer showing up in here at all, which is really nice. Because that way I won't accidentally expose this. Now, it sucks because I can't necessarily see what happened or why. But okay, so we've got that. Then next up, I can remove that entire sort of connection thing. It's not helpful. Okay, you're good. Now I clear the cookies and I want to get the token out of this, or rather, let's continue looking at what we got here. So then we get the body. So we get the response of body. And then we have access to the access token. Okay, so we should get this out of it. I think that I can do this inside of this login request. So here's this command. We do site.request dot then. We're gonna get the response. I want to, because I don't know what I really have in here. I want to do a sci.log response dot body. And so this should show up in the logs. Let's come over here in the console. Oh, okay. I don't see that at all in here. Which means I need to take away this log false until I'm apparently ready to deal with that. Oh, error reading from... Oh, I have a malformed JSON now. Accidentally left a trailing comma at the end. So let's try that again. Try again. Okay, so logged an object. Why can't I see? Inspect. Are you frozen? Okay. Message. Okay, so I do have access to an access token here. Okay, perfect. So this body has an access token in it. So wants to do const access token equals guess response body. They have like the ID token, the scope, and the expires in, and the token type, which is a bearer token. Okay, so if I take this token and then I put it in a cookie, specifically the cookie for an access token, I think that makes everything just sort of work the way we expect it to. So if I take you, then I want to constant access token. I want to sci.set cookie. Okay, so it's not Rust, it's set cookie. Name and then the value. Okay, so this is going to be auth0 token, access token is going to be the value. I think that should be fine for this specific browser that we're dealing with. Okay, so if we do that, so every time it should be a brand new token. and then that's set as a cookie here. Then I should revisit wherever I was going. So it's gonna be in here. So we do clear cookies, login. So really I should probably do, I don't think I need to do clear cookies. We can do login and then visit to slash. Okay. That like puts the entire token into the logs, which is not necessarily great. I don't know how to. The request is okay to have that in there now because it's not failing anymore. The set cookie. Oh yeah, there's always these options at the end that I can do. Interesting. Okay, so I can do in commands set cookie that log false. Okay. This is back in business. Does that mean Auth0 accepts a JSON body when the API said it needs to be form URL encoded, or the Cypress doc's wrong and it is a form URL encoded without the form option? You know, I don't know, because I didn't specifically say what it should be. So I'm guessing that it does take JSON, or it might take both. It's a little bit odd. It's a little bit hard to tell. Okay, so I visit here, a cookie is placed in, and what I want to expect to see is that I want to see this sign up button is gone. So looking at this specifically, for you, I have this data test auth sign up. So after we log in, I want this to be invisible. So that's going to be in here. So we visit slash we get you. And then that should, I guess, like not exist. Oh, so this apparently failed. Oh, this, okay, it successfully got nothing here. Oh, wait, is it? Is it because the request wasn't finishing? No, this is after I'm logged in. When I look at this, so it's, before it does anything, it's pausing slightly. Okay, so it's navigating to here. I wonder. So visit you, get this. I have log true in that. I have log false in you. I can also do a sci.log cookie set. Yeah, okay, so this log happens when we're still at... Oh, it's not in the correct place. Okay, hold on. I need to... Before I do my site request, we're going to do a site.visit to slash. Site.visit to slash request that, do the request. Get the access token, set the cookie. So that way we're probably in the correct browser for that. Okay, so visit slash do the request, cookie gets set. Okay, I want to see what the cookie is. Where is that? Is that under... Not memory, right? No. It's not security. Oh, it's under application. Okay, so application, cookies. Okay, so I have HTTP ://localhost :8080. So that's correct. What's the path? Domain localhost path is slash. Okay, so that's all correct. Expires in 2042. So, you know, just got a little tiny bit of time available for this. So this get, this is interesting. So I wonder why this is taking so long. There's a request. I also wonder why I'm not seeing the requests. We used to see in Cypress, this is like a brand new version of it too. The actual like request that happens. So I want to make sure that I wait until everything has a chance to show up. Now I could do in here, so visit here and then .wait for like any number of milliseconds, which is not great. I don't like to like have hard-coded waits in here. Oh, not a string. This is a number. Yeah, then so I just waited just a teeny tiny bit, and then this exists. Interesting. And so, okay, it should not exist, but it does. So now we get to go back to our code. And I want to say in platform web, when we load up the main page, I get the Auth0 token out of here, and then I need to do a login. So if let some, that stuff, okay, that's great. We have get user profile, which takes in the token. Okay. Where's my library? So I want to do get user profile, pass it in the reference to the token. You're going to return you're going to return a result. So let's match you. Oh, this is an await. Oh, but this is okay. So then this is all asynchronous code here. So if let some token doing that, I want to was and bind gen futures, spawn local. Okay. Now I'm getting missing match arm, so I want to await you. Now I can fill the match arms. Okay, so if it's good, we get the profile. And that's great. I want to then store this away. So we're going to have a probably do a block here. Okay, so I have this here. I move that into the use effect once. So that comes into here. Now we have wasn't bind gen features. So I then need to get, if that's not okay, so inside of here before the features, because I needed to move twice, I need to then get the dispatch. So let auth store dispatch. Actually, you know what I can do? I can do the dispatch out here, can't I? I wonder if that would work. If I do auth store dispatch reduce, okay, get our store, move all of you in. Okay, so now we have our token in here. All right, so if we don't have a token, a couple things I want to do. I want to delete the cookie, and I also want to set our user to a none. So we would do store dot is authenticated equals false. Store dot token equals a none. Store dot user equals a none. You're logged out. If we get to this point, we have a token, but we don't know it's good. So we have to do our spawn. We have to do our async await to get the user profile, and then if the profile is good, I want to now create, because this is just a user, right? So I want to say store dot user equals some profile. Otherwise we get an error. We have an error message. I don't really care what this error is, do I? I want to do the same thing that we did down here, where we just say, nope, go away, goodbye, you're not welcome here. Okay, so you're upset. Expected FN1's closure found a Boolean. I am returning this Oh, no, no, no. I am not. Okay, now you cannot infer appropriate lifetime due to conflicting requirements. Expected mutable reference to an auth store found mutable reference to an auth store. Yay. But the lifetime must be valid for a static lifetime. A bull first ad, hello. Okay, so that makes you upset. Okay, so I think what I need to do is I need to not do my dispatch here, so that I can clone it in the appropriate places. So this is to that dispatch. Okay, so if let's like put you in the else right now. So if I put you dot here, so that makes you happy there. At this point in time, I don't have the store though, so I have auth store in here. I need to create a dispatch in here. So this is gonna be an auth store dispatch equals auth store dispatch. And that's it. And I'm gonna use it inside of here, which means, I guess right here. Store dispatch reduce okay. Oh, but I'm inside of here. So the wasm bind on futures has to happen inside of the dispatch. Okay, got it. So then you're to this blue. Okay, hold on, let's undo that because that's confusing. So I'm in the spawn local here. Oh, I need this to be in the auth store dispatch. So I wonder. Oh, no matter what, this sucks. Or does it? Do the dispatch. Okay, then I move you in here. So at this point of time, I have you. So I say auth store dispatch reduce store.user that likes it. Okay, and I'm going to do this exact same thing here. So auth store dispatch reduce okay, you're upset now. Auth store does not live long enough. Can I clone you? I can. Okay, so I clone dispatch out of auth store, so we don't need auth store anymore. That's in here. So this dispatch goes into our wasm bind gen futures and all the fun stuff. So then that should automatically log us in if we have the token. So back to Cypress. If I hit refresh now, it did not get us our welcome message, which I kind of expected it to. I do see that it made the fetch to get the user. Let's try, if we come here. Okay, so I have this. I've hit refresh. It is not grabbing that. So some part of this. Okay, so it's the use effect once on app when we load in. Any one of these things it could be failing at. So if I do like glue console log, is this no token? This is no cookie. And I don't have any errors, right? I have no errors showing, and you're happy. Okay, so I didn't get that console log there, so that's good. So then the next thing would be I have a sum. So I found the token. I then try to get the profile. So do we get that here? So got profile. I should even be able to do like profile dot can't I get into the profile here? Profile dot. You should be able to show me what the user is. Nickname. Oh, fine. There you go. Try to do a. Oh, I think I did dot and not L, or whatever. Okay. So it got this profile here. That sets this. Oh, I need to set authenticated to be true. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oops. That's a problem. So I do you're here store dot you is authenticated equals true. Bam. Okay, there we go. So now back to Cypress, hit refresh. Can't find it anymore. And we're automatically logged in. So in quick review here, we set Cypress to send a request to Auth0 directly to log in. We sent the username and password to a test user. So Brooks builds test here. That gets a token back. I then set that into a cookie on the web, on the browser, and then refresh the page. Then I can test like, hey, after a tiny bit of time for us to get the Auth0 info, which I should be able to wait for this. I should be able to set this to be wait for this to happen. Once that happens, I should not be able to find the sign in button anymore. Now all I see is just like this welcome, and I should be able to see like the log out, which I guess I'll finish this up. I don't know if I'll do it off stream or if we'll continue it on Monday, but pretty much this is the end for this issue. I have to make sure that it's working on all the browsers. I have to deploy it to production, but that's all. Most of that is automatically handled by GitHub Actions. So maybe I'll do that later today or tomorrow. Sunday, we're not going to be working on this. We're going to be playing Screeps Arena again. So we're continuing to work on capture the flag in Rust there. So that'll be a longer stream. Hopefully, if you have a chance, I would love to have you hang out with me while we do that. But then if you want to just sort of see the web dev stuff, that'll be continuing Monday morning. So with that, Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.